Greetings, desktop tycoons, and welcome to Mirage Game Studios. Today is a very special day because today our first game, Little Big Workshop, turns 5 years old. On this very day, it was released out to PC, on Steam, and I'm joined in the studio today with some of the original devs from the game. So do you guys want to introduce yourself? If you want to start from my end, moving forward. You want to start, Kram?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Christian Gran, and I worked as a programmer on Little Big Workshop from day one of the company, I think. And yeah.
Cool. And I'm Victor. I also was. We were two programmers, so it's all our code in that game. So yeah, a lot of code was written.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Simon. I'm the one of the founders of the studio. I've been here since the very beginning.
Yeah, and I'm Joel. I worked as an artist on Little Big Workshop together with.
I'm Toby, and I'm artist too. Was also there for Little Big Workshop, so we're a core team, guys. We have put together this presentation with concept art and never before seen builds and prototypes of the game for you guys. So, do you want to kick it off, Masha?
And we haven't seen this before, right?
No,
I haven't
I
seen
made
it.
a point of making sure that this is never before seen stuff for you guys. So
Ooh,
you are
nice, nice.
I've seen it at some point,
yeah,
probably.
back then. So
5
first,
years ago.
But it's going to be a trip down memory lane for.
Do we need
For a
like
lot
a
of us.
pillow of shame?
no, I tried to
screaming.
That's why I'm behind the couch.
I tried to be nice. You wanna go slide? So 2016, 8 years ago, these brave lads kicked off Mirage Game Studios. You may not have seen these images in a while, but what do you have any things you want to say about that?
I had glasses and so much hair.
Yeah.
Simon looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't age.
Vampire.
No, this is from the very first period of founding the company. So this was while we were just prototyping stuff in a small flat next to our founder Lars, or one of the founders. And looks like we had a factory in the bottom as well. So these are from the sort of earliest stages of research, and some oddly interested local press showed up and said, "Hey, they're making a game of factories." So they actually followed us around for a bit. So that was fun.
Didn't we have a legendary picture of you just pointing at, or was it?
We're pointing all the press pictures. It's pointing.
Yeah,
everywhere.
point on a machine.
Yeah, point.
Yeah, it's an industry machine.
Yeah,
right?
That's a machine.
yeah. I'm sure we have them as well. But yeah, these from the first stages of founding the company.
Slide.
We were four guys back then, right?
Yes.
We were just the three of us and Samuel, who left for Gothenburg and lab and everything. So he's not here anymore. But this seems to be. You actually see my art for once. Hey, I used to do art.
So this is some of the early game concepts before actual development began, where we got pencil sketches, some renders from the prototype assets, and then this paint over, sort of imagining what the game would turn out. And I think it's kind of cool seeing that paint over image and how similar it is to the game that actually launched 3 years later.
And the
And how
truck.
bad I was at painting as well. Yeah.
The truck looked like one of the trucks that is in game. Probably.
It's pretty much retained. That's the most powerful asset in the game because it's still the same.
Do we know how many
Slide.
of these assets that actually made it into the final thing?
Some. I think some assets
Oh, for
went
sure.
through the whole process.
I don't think anything from the prototype though, but they had a
No.
similar look. So
Yeah, we had the road.
exactly,
at one point.
we
Yes.
have this. I thought this would be an interesting one as well to bring in because the concept of the tabletop, which was sort of has been a huge part of the game's identity. Like on the key art, it's featured the tabletop and the props that came sort of late in development. But we wanted to do something with the void, right? So we
Yeah.
had the graphing paper. That was sort of an idea. It's kind of cool.
I think that's it's like concept art or maybe.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like paint over
Yeah,
stuff.
paint over it. Yeah.
So we have a screenshot of the game. Then we sort of in Photoshop came up with the world outside.
Yeah.
But it started out with the graphing paper up to the left, and then sort of moved on to what happens at the end of the graphing paper.
Yeah.
Then a table, and what happens there, and then we added props and everything. So it's kind of organically how that sort of theme came about.
It's so jarring having an asphalt road on there. I'm glad we removed I'm glad we removed that road.
I'm not also noticing the first appearance, probably out of many, of Victor's purple face.
Oh yeah, I'm down there.
Down there in the...
That's
Yeah, the error icon.
John is-
When we fucked up, we got that icon.
John is talking about the face down in the UI in the like the pink. There's
Yeah.
our error texture, so that shows up a little bit all over the place in the game. But I don't think I have seen somebody founding it on consoles, but it's really rare these times because you made sure to make it really jarring so that we would be bothered by it.
Yeah, so we would fix it and replace it.
It's also kind of taunting you for not having replaced it already.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think this has always been a secret strategy from the tech guys that if we just make it shock pink, all the other team will just have to fix it soon.
Yeah.
Cause I bleed.
Yeah.
Slide. And these are some of the
Ooh.
early worker concepts. And one thing that really differentiates these workers from the one in the game is that we did this whole Rayman thing with arms and such. But the cool thing about these images is that the one down to the left is really, really early.
I think that's the very first one that I did. They want this chunky sort of, not meep, what they call like a board game, just symbolic dude hopping about almost.
Yeah.
And also we knew we were 4 people back then, and one of us sort of did art, which was me. But we quickly learned that it's a bit much for one guy to do all these things. So it was a big part of it was we would probably save time by not actually having limbs.
Yeah,
So we could just
cheat
make it
so
really,
much.
really symbolic. People will buy it anyway because it's a factor game. It's mostly about the puzzle.
Oh, for sure. And it's top down, right?
Yeah.
But
It
one
took,
thing I love about seeing these old images is how much of it is sort of retained in the game today.
Yeah.
Like those images to the right is sort of the first pass we did when we came about as artists, and a lot of these details, like the clothing of the guys and those and the trucker hats.
Yeah, we kept
still
a lot of
retained.
it. Like we had those old figures without arms and stuff, but we just like migrated the look to the new guys as
Exactly.
well. So
Yeah, and
It's
also
very fun to see.
this is the 18 years rated truck driver because we had to remove the cigarette.
yeah,
unless we
cigarette
were-
and one was smoking a pipe.
Can we
Yeah.
show this on Twitch?
We're gonna get adult
Personal
rate.
smoke.
I think it was we would get adult rating in Spain or something if we had tobacco in the game, so we had to remove the
Oh,
cigarette.
I think we're gonna be able to show that later, but yeah, like a tobacco rip.
But I like that the silhouettes are. You can see that they are still the minions we have in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What-
The silhouettes are really.
What are the worker types in the bottom left? Because that was, I don't know that we nailed that early. Like what?
I think it might have been an idea to have. I think we talked. Are we going to see the very first prototype? Because we talked about when they do something, they temporarily sort of put on a suit or like a hat, depending on what they do.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, he's
Hat
on the
and tool.
Yeah, so he's on the woodworking place, so he puts on the eye protection and woodworking stuff. So they would switch heads or tools depending on what they
And
do.
we would have the same animation, right? So we would have like one animation.
It's
and
the good old
that's
huge
that.
animation.
I think the mask is actually still in the game when they use metal tools.
yeah.
Which was really cumbersome to make because the noses are so big, he would poke through the mask.
We didn't have that problem here.
No, exactly.
And if I remember right, we had a hauler and we had an operator, and
Mhm.
and we talked to tech, and then we talked to design. Are we going to have any more roles in the future?
Mhm.
We don't think so. And then like classic, we built a system based on that we were going to have maybe 2 or 3 types,
Mhm.
and then
Oops.
Yeah. We need truckers. We need specialist truckers. We need builders.
No.
So
a
here,
lot of hats. And
for the next upcoming slides are a little bit of concept for products.
Yeah.
Because for these games we came up with a lot of products, right? As a lot that was scrapped as well. But in the game there are a lot of different products, and part of that was sort of a brainstorming phase where we would draw these and no like limits, make them cool. But then we would also have to make these sort of planning mode suggestions down in the lower left. That every product could be sort of like torn apart into these specific parts made from these materials, requiring these operations. So we always had to make sure that they fit sort of the gameplay, right?
Yeah.
You can
I
just
think it was very central really early on to have, the modularity of everything. That was a core thing. We wanted it to be, you assemble stuff piece by piece and you can see the whole process in the game. So that was something. But early on we did everyday stuff, and we quickly found this wasn't super inspiring. So I think we had like halfway through the entire development we were making furniture.
Yeah,
Not just
sure.
because we're Swedes and we like IKEA, it was just it was just very handy to have blocks of wood that you could sort of
switch up the
switch
legs.
around and cut and so on. But
Yeah.
then together with the publisher, actually, they make more fun stuff. Yes, make more crazy things, because the crazy products we had were fun. So make more of those. So this looks like one of the many Simon's doodling machines here for some reason. We're looking at bots and maybe robots, something. So this is just random scraps of here are do stuff.
We also
Maybe this is inspiring someone.
like an early thing with products that I think we carried for a really long time also was that like we wanted to make bigger things really. I mean the
Yeah.
car was always the ultimate. At some point we're going to build a car in the Little Big Workshop, but we like how are they going to carry the parts? Oh, we'll
Yeah.
have to introduce a truck, we'll have to have this feature and
Crane
that feature.
system.
Yeah.
It was
We have
always
like-
like one character has to be able to carry it, and I just love how we eventually introduced the heavy carry. So they would carry like
That was the
this.
solution, that was the solution.
Okay, you can carry like a bike like this, but not a car.
Or like a catapult.
A catapult.
It's okay, it's heavy. He looks like he's carrying something heavy, so
I
it's all
also,
fine.
I was really happy when I found the image in the lower left, because it's an early render, but it really goes to show sort of the mindset of the game, right? Here's the material, we do this to it, then we do this to it, then we do,
Yeah.
and that's also key for, that's still in the game, right? It's sort of following parts becoming the product.
And that's the product that you made in the prototype.
So the very first one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, and that was very central to the core. What would make this a bit different is that we wanted to allow the player to feel like they're actually designing stuff, because there's always this conflict of, okay, we want to give the player options to do whatever they want, but we have to give them, assets that they can actually mix and match. So we tried to find a middle ground of, okay, you can make toys, but you'll have options within each product, and that was a challenge throughout the whole project really, to figure out what's a good amount of customization and how. Oh, the planning tool.
Oh, for
the
sure.
headache of the planning tool.
Like,
How do we actually allow them to do anything here, and how do we make it work?
it has to be
Mm.
modular in a way that you can't have too much variation in parts, because then it's sort of going to break. So we always had to sort of keep it within the how the game works, as well as should be able to put it in shelves and
Fits in shelves. Yes.
and stack it in piles.
one kilometer of looking through every item that it fits in a shelf. It's like
Yeah, the wonderful tools.
We did actually for each product, like, okay, when you have one, it's like this. When you have two, it's like this.
Yeah,
When you have
and we had it,
three,
yeah.
so
The
there's
by
stack-
hand.
custom stacks of
Custom
every
stacks
item.
models, yeah.
But
Oh,
they
God.
look so cool, don't they?
They look cool in the shelves and everything.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying though when they carry one that can be stacked a lot. They would carry it offset. So if they carry like a piece, they might carry it in one hand but be like this. That's because if they were to have multiples, then they would sort of stack in a like handmade way.
Yeah.
So that's sort of
Yeah,
You
because
should
we did
just-
all those things handmade.
Yeah.
In Unity, like stacked them and made them look.
If something stacks kind of cool. If a thing is like this, you can sort of stack it like this.
Yeah.
But the computer doesn't get that, so we have to make that. It's like
If me and Christian were smarter, maybe the computer would.
here's some. I think this could get a kick out of you
Nice.
guys.
Yeah.
So
What is
to the
this?
right, we have like story concepts.
But we had a story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The game used to have a story.
So early on in the game, there were like almost Fire Emblem-esque or visual novel-esque story segments with characters and dialogue and such.
I don't think we even ever made proper ones. We just tried it and went, nope.
Yeah.
We should just focus on making factories. The story stuff doesn't really work. for
Yeah.
us.
None of us are writers.
No.
Oh, writing's hard.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk? And then when we scrapped those story and level thing and went to the more sandbox way the game works today, that we still sort of wanted like characters and to give like identity to the game and to be able to sort of come to with requests as sort of minor story arcs, right? So that's when we came up with Crazy Steve and Vlad
Yeah.
and this sort of subplot where they were like brothers. Because this wasn't Vlad, this was it was called Golden Oak, and it was supposed to be like this
Yeah,
sort of
like
fancy furniture guy.
fancy.
While,
Yeah.
while Crazy Steve was sort of the more, you know, humdrum furniture guy, and they were sort of having this antagonist.
Speaking of making a lot of furniture products.
Yeah, for sure.
in the early game.
It was all
I love this.
furniture, yeah.
I love that picture because it's them with the old character style as well. They have Rayman hands and, you know, flatter faces and such.
I like how he looks like he could be from a horror game in the top left one. Maybe we should make a horror game someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like
You
I'm
will
playing
used to
for
work at
Mirage.
Tarsier. Can you tell? So, eventually, even a game like you can slide. Even a game like Little Big Workshop gets wrapped up and out for release. And on this day, 5 years ago, this happened. Brace yourselves.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Time.
2, 1.
And the million buttons.
Publish now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Type
We
the
have
phrase
never done
release
this,
my app.
obviously.
It was our first game.
I guess we do this. I guess we.
And then like calling THQ.
Are we on now? Or what is it? What is it?
That's my favorite line. What you say? It wasn't our fault. So yeah, we're on.
Oh, we're on. Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. That was. I distinctly remember running through the office to the phone, like push the button. It didn't work when we did it. But the game came out even though the Steam release didn't want to release or allow us to release it, but it got out there. So we
Got out
worked
there.
on it since 2016-ish, late 2016, and released on late 2019. So roughly 3 years,
Yeah.
which is at least 2 more than we thought.
Usually
I think
the
we
case,
were very
isn't it?
ambitious in the beginning. Oh, this will take a year.
Wrap it up. It's a simple factory
That
game.
was not accurate, but it was good fun. We it was quite a journey, so it's a lot of fun things to talk about during the project and everything we did.
And now the game is out for mobiles, for consoles. We only made the PC version though. The console versions are made by Handy Games and subsidiary Massimini team, so shout out to them. But the Big Workshop has had quite a long journey since then. We're going to look back on some very never before seen early builds
Ooh.
and prototypes. Are you guys ready for this?
We
So
didn't
how
do streams
early
back
are
then.
how early are we talking?
Fucking early.
Like
Yeah.
pitch early?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah, the blood, sweat and tears.
and cheat code, yeah.
Real quick, a question from your mom. Who was the most nervous on that day, the release day?
Very
I
possibly.
think one of the engineers must have been. Yeah, so either Victor or Christian. But they were too cool to show it.
Yeah. You just wait for the bugs to flood in when it goes out into the wild.
The wolves are at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, we as
Will it work?
artists, we're like, we have been done for a while, so we just lean back and be like, yep,
What's the worst
ship it.
art catastrophe that can happen?
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Oh no, the texture is wrong here.
Yeah.
And me and Christian is like, oh yeah, we can destroy the saves or
There's like
the
a
Or
Victor face in here. No!
trucker is stuck on.
oh yeah, and all the exotic edge cases people found the first couple of weeks.
I do remember one place right before
Jesus.
release when we had Handy Games, which was publishing the game back then, or they took over from THQ. It's a long story, but they were actually having a sort of marketing stream before release, and we had a guy T-posing during the stream. It's like, pay no attention to the dude in the corner. It's just bricking completely. Like, yes, it didn't work.
Did we
Yeah,
also
those
have
guys
the
were
guy
pros.
when a worker would get stuck and just work ultra fast because he didn't have to actually go to the workstation. He was just in the corner.
I think that was
The
way
God
before.
Minion we didn't have.
That wasn't live on stream.
No, it was.
Okay, that was just in studio.
So I see old Excel files here. This is fantastic.
Yes.
I love
So
the name.
this, if Hawkeye viewers are gonna see the date here, this is the thing that started all. Is it cool if we show this?
Yeah, but the thing, yeah.
The
You
thing.
mean the prototype?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
prototype.
Personal edition.
The
I
old
s-
personal.
I said that I was here
Oh,
at
dear.
the day one of the company, but
Yeah.
there was no company at this point, so
No.
I did not do anything on this.
This was me, Simon, and Samuel.
Yeah. So this was distinctly the music.
Whoa, and there was
Samuel's
Samuel's
brother, yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah, this was me, Victor, and Samuel in my flat actually for a long weekend, and then mostly Victor after his regular work actually making it work.
Yeah.
So this is the very first working thing we ever did for LBU, which we pitched the game on. Which, looking at it now, is amazing how they actually went for it. But yeah,
I think it looks really
somehow
nice.
is what we managed
Look at these
to
guys.
pitch the game with.
They have little like me characteristic. Look at that hair.
I made all these models, which
Yeah.
is not a compliment.
So this is kind of tricky to play.
You don't say.
So you guys are gonna have to walk me through this. How do I?
You think I remember how to?
Storage. That's a good start.
Yeah, you need storage.
Is that?
Not there.
Please, God, not there.
only inside.
So you have the
There,
drag
yes.
thing, and you have workbench.
Yeah, and you need a saw and a packaging station.
You rotate it and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's easy if you just take over. We
So-
can do the. Oh.
What's those green
Here we are.
cubes?
That's how they take up tile space.
Okay.
And here comes the products.
Soldiers.
Lovely.
Soldiers.
Yeah, and they did collide with each other, so they have problems
we
through
had
the doors.
That's actually really helpful because we immediately decided not to have that.
You think collision is gonna be cool? It.
Nice.
No, what's happening?
Why?
Come on,
why
little
did
guy.
he get
What? You
stuck
can do
in
it.
the-
Was this stuck in the door?
Well, that was a good demo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no shit, the prototype broke. Like I still think this is really neat because so much of these things do kind of look like the way they do in. Like, did you see the truck? It looks just like the truck in the finished game. That's
Well, I
Really
distinctly remember the prototype actually working.
Look at
This
this.
was a shame.
I think
I
we
mean-
used that model.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did some polish to it, but yeah. But
And the same with the
I've never seen a
bandsaw, maybe?
yeah,
No?
it's pretty similar.
The
And-
bandsaw is pretty. I think this. Do you have circle
It's a
saw
shame if
too?
we can't get the animations working. I remember having the
Yeah,
work hazard
restart.
thing with the. Just do one at a time and see if you can get the saw
Yeah.
running, because I remember the saw animation being perfect.
And let's
Yeah.
all imagine being the other person in this meeting. Victor is like, so here's what we got. Here's what we're thinking. Get your wallet ready.
And it's gonna be done in a year.
This was a shout out to Reinhard at THQ who somehow approved this.
Yeah, Reinhardt's the best. Okay, now we're doing it slowly. I'm not gonna go all gung ho.
Just
Ah,
one
but
at a
that's
time.
good.
Oh look,
That's good.
person animation.
Whoa, they have tools.
It's
Ooh.
actually doing stuff.
This
Could you
actually
speed
kind
up
of,
the game? No,
No, man.
not
don't-
in this stage.
Don't break it.
This is actually really interesting in terms of. So we could have obviously, as soon as you just like press "I want the workstation" here,
Hmm?
it could just appear.
Yep.
But we have a truck delivering the part that makes the workstation, which
Yeah.
like adds so much headache for
And
us.
I did this in a weekend also, so it was.
How do I get rid of these? You guys.
Click something. Click.
Okay.
All right, this is the input/output stuff.
Input.
Yeah. So this was one of those things.
Yeah, so put input to the storage. There you go. Out might work. Add one.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Wow. You can press infinite.
Is that what that button did?
Boom. Add subtract. Okay.
Click on the storage to the left, the white area thing, and then click wood.
Yeah.
I think they'll move over there then. Yay!
Go ahead, guys.
So
Like-
so yeah, I was want to sort of defend this for a moment before it breaks. So we had a sort of thing we wanted to do with the game was to allow you to design your own factories in a very open-ended way, and in the very first version, we thought, well, we need to give them full control of everything. So here is a place where you can store something, and the stuff stored over here always goes over there, and you have to sort of micromanage every single move.
Create
between
another
everything.
storage zone.
And that was full control and horrible to play with. But we actually had something like this for quite a while. For like
Put
half
the
a year.
output to the.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there really isn't anything exactly like Little Big Workshop, so all these quirks had to sort of been figured out.
I mean, there's a lot
Live.
of factory games, but yeah.
Yeah, but not quite like this. Until now, we have a copycat. Called Smart Factory Tycoon. Check it out.
I'm not sure we're gonna solve this one. Click
Ah.
on it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Look, you guys put this together.
It's a
weekend.
very
It's fucking
calming
impressive.
music
Yeah, and I
at
think
least, so you can.
The music is
I'm
amazing.
I mean, I'm assuming the PowerPoint that ran next to this was amazing.
We also trained how we should play the games.
I
for it
did
to
the
work.
demo, I recall. I don't think I
Yeah.
actually sent it. Oh, I think we sent it, but I think they went entirely on what we showed and talked
Yeah.
about.
So here's the story. The pitch got approved.
Yeah.
You guys start a company, and this right here is the first playable, actually working on it, and it's almost a year later. I'm not sure. The date probably wasn't right on the first one, so I'm not sure exactly the date.
I think we did it during the summer, right?
The prototype, yeah.
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 So this is like half a year later.
Okay.
So when
Swedish.
we got
Yeah,
back
I
to,
remember this one.
To Karlstad, it would have been September, October, something.
Ah.
Is that right?
Feast your eyes. Like, some things about this is really cool. You see the wall, sort of how the walls go down.
Yeah.
That's not gonna
still
change.
in the game. And look at the trees.
And the trees.
That did change, but look at them. They
Wow.
look so cool. And I gotta say, the UI on this build is so cool.
It's I like.
We had to move away for practical reasons, but it looks very nice.
And we had a fika room.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
early.
remember Victor being thrilled about tilting the UI. That was.
Yeah.
So I have to cheat a little bit, so I just press a bunch of buttons and then we get workers. Boom.
Hey,
Because these buttons doesn't work. But look at these guys, our first actual workers. And these are based on the concepts that you saw during the presentation.
look at that wiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are shaking it. Oh man.
But they do have different hats though. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
these
that's
little
nice.
beer hats. They're really neat.
Yeah. Do we have planning mode in this one?
Yes. Okay, brace yourselves.
Oh yeah, it was 3D.
3D planning mode.
This was when. Okay, so this is a bit of a story. We had a vision for building factories, like I said, and it was very
Swedish.
central from the very first. The very first version, we said a core feature is going to be that you need the tools to plan your factories in the game. So you won't pull up Excel or keep notes. We want the game to help you with these things. And it's a feature that's surprisingly uncommon, that you can just take notes or sort of help out calculating things. Like I'm sure a lot of people are playing Satisfactory now, and there are a few sites who are very popular at so you can get anywhere because there's not really any calc help within the game. So that was a core thing for us.
I was gonna say this machine that
Yeah.
Simon made way back in 2017 is on the key art.
Hey!
It's the same. I don't think we have done nearly anything to it.
Yeah.
The
With
beard
the-
trimmer.
I think
Uh,
OSHA has opinions
circle.
on the beard, on the circle.
Circle saw in
Yeah.
the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys have a tendency to cut themselves, but they're nice about it.
I think if you can get these guys working, they're gonna be even worse. They're gonna fully put their hand in.
Yeah.
the saw.
Well, yeah, so we wanted a planning mode, the ability to plan, and we had this ambitious visionary idea of that you would sort of go into another mode while still in 3D, and you would point on these things and tell, oh, so from this machine, this product will be sent, and then you will send them from over here. So, I mean, just
Shop sign.
shop sign.
That should
Yeah.
work. Okay,
So
And
it would be like
now what?
you're
You
designing
need,
a flow
you need
through
storage
the factory,
zones.
right?
storage zones.
So you need, and you can't use the same storage zones for multiple things. So you have to
Did we
have
have a Swedish
for the
translation?
intermediate products as well.
Do you see that I drew storage zones in planning mode? But so you were able to sort of.
Oh yeah, put it on the bug board and we fix it later.
No, I mean I thought that could be kind of cool, but whatever. We're not making this game anymore.
I'll try to plan something. Put a plank or something in the background. So.
Oh yeah, open the wood menu and drag out one of these.
Oh, how did there?
Yeah, but if you are in planning mode and you press the wood thing
Mhm.
and you drag out the mouse.
Click and click. I think we.
Isn't that how you did it?
Just click in the background, then can you do something like that?
Right click?
There we
Oh,
are.
there's something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that
Okay.
it was you would sort of put this in this virtual area, and then you would point into different machines. Maybe I should just take over the controls or something. But
Nah, we're not doing this. Let's move on. But planning mode in 3D,
Yeah.
that's really neat.
yeah, because after a while we had arrows going in between these machines and back and forth, and as you learn and play these games, the factory layout doesn't necessarily equate the order in which you produce it. It's very romantic and nice if you produce it in one and it goes through the factory in a direction.
Yeah.
That's not really what it ended up having for most people. So you had spaghetti of arrows everywhere,
And
that was horrible.
And like, it's typically one of those things that sounds so cool in theory, but when you start playing with it, pretty soon it just gets messy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some of these things you have to learn by doing, and this is one of those examples.
Yeah.
But I still think this is really interesting, watching this build, how much sort of retains to the released version.
Yeah,
If
the
we
work tables and stuff will look almost the same as
Yeah.
the release.
If we jump ahead an additional couple of months, that's
2 months?
two
Just 2
months.
months?
Yeah, is that worth it? Nah, let's do a year almost. So an additional year of development.
Notice the Pro Unity
Yeah.
dash startup thing.
We'll get to that at some point. We're still there's no menu. Or this is the first
Hey.
menu.
Oh, with landing.
I know why I included this one. It's interesting, so let's do it. You're
I
gonna
think
like it.
the reason we had the Swedish version in the last build was probably just to show off that we had globalization at all. I don't think Unity had that at that point.
No.
So we've made our own thing that.
Hey!
Yes!
Hey, there
Look
they
at
are.
that story.
This is why I included it. We have story content
This was.
and dialogue and characters.
Oh yeah. No.
And
Oh yeah, you were
I
gonna
like
do a
this.
garage level, the first
Yeah.
one. This is like the second level, right?
exactly.
Or is it the third? You
Pass.
have goals and stuff.
But I have some recognition of that we had like a house too.
Yeah, that was first level.
The first level,
We were
okay.
in
Garage in the-
Yeah.
When we
Yeah,
get
it
to
was-
that, if we get to that one, I want to make sure that we there's a feature in that never made it to the rest of the game because you can't rotate the camera into
Yeah.
the house.
Oh.
And I made a special. I put a lot of time into that one.
And now, in order to complete the achievement, finding Laser Pete, you have to rotate the camera into the house. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is now we have sort of pivoted to doing not scenarios, but rather sort of sandbox stuff, right?
Mm.
If I don't recall,
Arrow face. Yay.
we have a new minions, workers.
Yeah.
They have these neat little
Faces.
laid-back expression.
Yeah, they have
Not all of them,
expressions.
right? They could have. They had. Was
think-
there that version they could randomize what expression they had?
I don't know if they randomize, but they do change the expression based on what they're doing.
So if
So
they're
if-
working, I think they're gonna stick their tongue out and stuff.
Oh, okay.
exactly. Again, now we're starting to approach even further, like the released game. This machine sort of looked the same. This is still in the game, sort of. So now things are starting to move along. But these guys, this was before their redesign, so they still had sort of only like a color swap to distinguish whether or not they're a hauler or a operator. And the next build you're going to see, this is quite late. This is in 2018, and for this build, we have
EA. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey. Flash
Looks like
screen.
a
our old logo,
old logo.
The old name.
the old work in progress name,
Still trying to figure something
The
out.
table.
the menu.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, just feast your eyes.
Yeah.
Like there's most of these guys are still in the game, but this is kind of cute seeing the one lying there, and the little carrying the pencils.
Someone's having a mental break in the bottom, or what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No coffee. No coffee.
Carrying chairs. Like This was actually kind of nearing release, but then we sort of added some development time to add like events and sort of redo the characters and such. But that's why this one has like a menu and has a bunch of features like that, because we were kind of wrapping up. And this one has the phone,
Yeah.
the characters.
Well, there he is.
This is a tutorial contract.
Totally. He has his name. He still has the name. Kinda looks the same, but as you can see, we don't have the voice acting yet or the animations. So that's something that we also opted to add to give them even more personality, right? Except just love watching
the sticky camera. The camera controls has some issue in this build.
I just love how the characters look, because
Yeah,
they
they still have the face.
they still have
yeah.
the derpy minion face
Yeah.
from the
But
previous build.
Different.
But
area.
if you hire more people, they're gonna have different faces.
And this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a couple, you're gonna
Yeah.
get a couple of angry ones and stuff.
And here we can see that Victor has googled 100 most common names.
Oh yeah.
Put them in a list.
Nancy Wilson, where are you going?
Yeah, like what was it? 2016 baby names, first and last names in just a big list. and
American,
then-
I think.
Yeah, American.
There's gonna be a lot of Karens in here.
Let's see if we can do so. It would be kind of cool.
Oh, we've changed the
Yeah.
storage zone thing.
Oh, you
they're,
didn't
They're
draw.
square now.
Oh yeah.
And you have the coffee room as well, I think.
Oh right.
Because we used to have, you could paint, yeah, like we saw in the prototype, you painted out the storage areas, right? But
Yeah.
it was just super complex. And we're like, we don't need this.
You could give them custom shapes though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
have
no,
islands and
rectangle-
stuff.
Rectangular storages are so boring.
We can make L shapes for storages and stuff.
What wasn't worth the hassle is the long story. Short
the-
story.
Yeah, exactly. The users kind of didn't want it, and it made our job a headache as tech people too.
Like way back here, we have decorations on the table as well,
Mm.
and some of these are still in the game.
Yeah.
Most of these actually, but we did not have yet the interactions, so you can't click on them. That's something that we added during polish. Oh, this is really bothersome.
Yeah, just keep your don't.
Can you right click drag? Or?
Okay. Test scrolling a little or something.
No.
Get it
Arrow
stuck.
keys maybe?
No, it is the Vast. But the camera gets stuck for some reason.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I see a break room.
Yeah,
the game is
break room.
sort of at this point is kind of similar to Game We Know, only worse.
But
But
there is
there are a few things that are fun, and this one is old, that we made a new one. And this one is actually still in the game, and it's actually in our new game, Space for Sale. It's like an Easter egg that nobody has noticed.
we had one feature in this build that I really liked, but we scrapped it because it didn't do much for the game. Yeah, I think that's the
we're,
menu,
go-
right?
we're gonna open up the
The conveyor belts and stuff. Oh, I bled for this system.
It still kind of hurts. See if we can get rid of this and see if we can at least build some of these
So
assets.
we actually had automation at one point, or at least embryo to a prototype system, where we had automated storages and conveyor belts and input-output areas and
Yes.
all sorts of stuff here.
Yeah, and then we asked ourselves the question: do we want to have less minions in the factory? And we don't want less minions in the factory.
And
It
also,
also complicated everything in terms of finding errors and causing issues.
and I remember literally being like terrified of, okay, but how are the minions gonna move over the conveyor belts?
Oh,
we,
yeah,
we
yeah.
couldn't figure out something a good way
A
to do
bridge?
it.
Here's the thing as well.
So we just removed them entirely.
Speaking of the thing
Whole
Simon said,
system.
look at the trucker. She has a cigarette, and we're really proud about that because it had this line shader thing for the smoke, so you could sort of, she left a trail of smoke. So we thought it was kind of fun, but we had to remove the cigarette because that would make the game like mature rated for tobacco use. I just think that's kind of
Oh, I still like the conveyor belt.
yeah, that looks nice,
Yeah.
right? Like this is crunchy stuff. This is
Do you
bef-
think you can put something in the storage? Like set the
I
contract? or
tried it. It doesn't seem to work that well in this build, sadly.
something? Most likely this was a debug build or something, so there's a key we press, so you do it in the
Yeah.
right order because it's mid-prototype, or mid-development, but I mean, if we took a while to look back at all the docs, maybe we could figure it out, but it's a weird little thing now.
That's
Could
a-
you open planning mode for a moment, because now we're fairly long into dev, so welcome to planning mode.
Yeah,
Yes,
planning
yes.
mode is pretty much the way it is in the final game, right? You pick a product,
Create plan.
create plan, and then you get this sort of thing. It's less polished, but
You don't have the side menu, and you don't get help with like you need 10 units.
exactly.
It doesn't help you with that, so you can just if you execute the plan, you get 1, and then you have to execute it 9 times. And it was
You still have 9 days. You're like, no. Same with this. You don't own the machine, so you sort of have to figure out what machine does this and then
Yeah.
link it in. So we did add a lot of like quality of life things because this version is kind of hardcore like that.
Yeah. And I mean, all that automatically selecting 10 shelves, if that's what you're going to make and stuff like that. I feel like it's part of a progression from doing everything manually in the prototype,
Yeah.
literally everything, to
Exactly.
like, well, okay, this isn't actually fun to do, and this isn't fun to do, and this isn't fun to do, and we only kept the stuff that actually felt nice.
I mean, control and the ability to do stuff at once doesn't necessarily mean fun.
Yeah.
And that was a sort of learning experience in many regards in the game.
Oh, for sure.
We give them controls to everything, and then we find out that, that's just tedious. Even
Buying each wood like plank.
Yeah, exactly. And it was very much so with the automation system, where it might be fun to set up, but it removes a lot of joy from the game. Where okay, now it's just machine chugging along compared to these cute dudes running around and doing stuff manually.
Like, how do you have to sort of boil it down to making not like the choices and the decisions and interactions you do are interesting problem solving, right? And not just boilerplate or minutia. And that's isn't always super apparent. You have to sort of play around with it and try to find a level where you don't automate the entire game away, but also don't have too much annoying stuff.
I mean, also speaking of, do we even have the skill or tech tree things in this version? Because
Yeah, we
that came
do.
in quite late.
Sort of, you can level up
Yeah.
plastic, metals, and wood, and that will unlock machinery.
Yeah.
So the tech tree, like you say, and choosing sort of abilities, that's quite late. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was one of those things where, well, your dudes get better at making stuff, and then you eventually get more equipment, and that's sort of a natural progression thing.
Exactly.
But we had to do something where it felt more like I activate and choose that thing, cool, and then I learn each thing piece by piece rather than just getting them in sort of a discrete fashion just by existing.
Oh, for
so
sure.
the skill tree-ish thing made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it adds a lot of like replayability to the game as well, right? How do you optimize early? And what choices do you make?
New fancy logo. Hey.
Yeah, man, this is the release version that you guys are all familiar with if you're here, probably. So
with the evil DLC.
Way later than even a year later.
yeah, that's a year later. That's not 5-year anniversary, but it is October, so it's like okay, it's spooky, so that's cool. So this was pretty much the end of our presentation. We just wanted to show off some old. I went through the archives and found some fun stuff that we have never talked about, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. And thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out and commenting on this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? So now we're just gonna play the game. So if you want to stick around, hang out, then that would be awesome. We're also planning to do giveaways. So we're giving away supporter packs to our new game, Space for Sale. So if you want to be part of that giveaway, write !raffle, and then you will be part of the raffle. Let's start a new factory, not continue. I wonder when I played this last time. It's probably it's years ago. I played it on MOBA when Master Mini Team released the mobile version, and we went like, oh, this is cool. It's LBV. like I love the game, but I played like hundreds of hours of it.
You're gonna play the original or?
The original.
Yeah.
Next year we're gonna do a 5-year anniversary stream for Evil DSC.
Nice.
What do we call it? We call it Mirage. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Mirage is awesome. Boom.
Now comes the intro sequence with the story.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like I always
We did-
loved how this was sort of how music was added to this part. It's very, really it's a really atmospheric opening.
Yeah, this takes me back. It's a long time. I played like a year ago. I did a playthrough.
You did?
Yeah, try and do a playthrough once in a while.
I did.
I
See
I don't think I finished, but I spent an evening playing.
I did see we have the Easter egg plot spawning on this one.
I was also looking for that. Sometimes
Yeah, okay. The house. Or?
In the house, yeah.
Before,
the table is randomized, so
how is the audio, Marsha? Do you have any audio for the game?
very good.
The game? No, not for the game. The preview builds, the older builds had sound, but this one doesn't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can figure it out.
Maybe is there sound in the options menu?
Yeah, this would be right. That's Guys, keep bantering.
We did skip. We talked about it a little bit, but
No,
we
sorry.
talked about it internally at the office about like the first big patch that we did because when we released the game in that video that we saw earlier, the version that we released, like we got so much feedback about like the break rooms.
Yeah.
And people not understanding. Okay, so all my workers are on the floor begging for coffee.
What
I
do you
don't know
mean?
why. What's happening? So the big like coffee icon on the bottom middle of the screen right now, which has a 0 over it, that wasn't there in the release, the first release version, and that was the first big thing that we addressed. That was like, okay, people do not like this. Although we very much like the break room system.
Mm.
One reason I want to make sure that the audio is in the game is because when you answer this, it's me.
Yeah. And like
Voice actor?
almost all the guys did some voices for the customers.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one of my favorite anecdotes from the Big Workshop because from the last version of the game that you guys saw up to this release version, we wanted to make the clients more interesting, and one of these things was sort of the voicing, but we didn't really have much time, and we outsourced audio at the time, so we set up like a temporary audio studio in a closet at the office, and it was like literally
Literally
a closet. And then me and Victor, Joel, and Simon.
Did I do one?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you did.
you did the spy guy.
Ah,
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
yes.
And I did
Gargling, my specialty.
IKEA, or what do you call it? Not
Svekia.
Svekia, yeah, the Svekia.
No,
guy.
no, you.
Wait, Svekia is based on IKEA. Wait a
No,
minute,
what?
wait. Holy.
And you were Santa Claus.
Yeah, I was Santa Claus.
Remember?
But we don't get Santa Claus.
No,
here.
we don't. But
No.
that's sort of,
We're 2 months.
But we still get
we should have
offers.
played 2 months. So that was just sort of a cute moment in the studio. We sort of like made funny voices, and I think they really added a lot to the game. I mean, look at that guy.
I have a fun anecdote regarding the introduction sequence here, because
Mhm.
we have in the sort of onboarding section here where we teach you the controls, and you do your first product, and then they order like 50 or something,
What?
and then he gets calls and he has panic because he needs 50 more or something.
Mhm.
Actually, a guy called from the industry who out of nowhere found this game and contacted us. Someone on your team must have worked in the industry. This is too real. Because there was too much lining up about managing.
He was being like stressed out.
Yeah.
Too real.
Too real. That's a really fun one. But yeah.
Whoa! I used to open a new shop close to your factory, and seeing as you're new here, maybe we could help each other out. So let's do that. Yeah, I need a reminder how to play the game.
He wants like garden gnomes for his
Of course.
Crazy Steve. It's based on like, isn't he based on Galne Gunnar that we had here
Yeah, I
in
think.
town?
Yeah, I think.
Colin Gunnar.
I don't recall, but maybe.
Yeah, Crazy Steve. It's
The only one I remember having a very clear reference for was unintentionally the sort of main lore guy looked a bit like my father, so we just went with it.
It's kind of uncanny, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, the trucker. Still looks nice,
Yeah,
but
looks-
he doesn't have his.
I I miss
Segway
cigarettes.
anymore.
Yeah,
But it still has his Lemmy handlebars.
Yeah,
That was the most important part.
that's good.
And they are efficient as always.
Oh,
Never meandering.
Stock of garden gnomes.
Like, awful if you run out of your stock of garden gnomes. Obviously, you gotta maintain a full stock
Need storage.
at all time. Oh, storage. Yeah, good thing. I'm thinking I'm gonna get like a
Don't
pro.
worry, we'll explain it when the time comes. Tutorial.
Like-
We'll, go through.
Opposed to the prototype, this
Yeah.
tutorial is actually quite comprehensive.
Yeah, I was always worried about being too picky and going through this tutorial step by step by step by step. I always thought that would be annoying for players to go through, but we were told that it was appreciated from many of the streamers and viewers who watched at least, that they liked having like a proper walkthrough. And it's all, you can always skip it if you don't like it. But, yeah, we can easily tell when
Choose
someone
building
actually
foods.
normally when people did it because they struggle with basic stuff.
We spent a lot of time like figuring out what the good level, like keeping messages short and
Yeah.
each step simple. And if you do the thing, you don't have to press close on messages.
Yeah,
like, okay,
exactly.
you got it. We can just move on.
And those stuff takes so much more time than you expect because you spend so much time just making stuff work and then that
It's the
truck.
crazy Steve trucker. That was also kind of a late addition that they had
Yeah.
their own trucks
Their
and
own trucks,
truckers.
Yeah,
Look at-
Art, you don't have that much to do. Can you make
Make
10
five
unique variants
trucks.
of this?
Oh yeah, and they have different genders and skin colors. Make that.
Yeah.
One-
And now it's the Christmas event. Can you make Santa hats for all the different combinations?
Oh
And that's
man,
when-
don't say
when
that
like-
to you.
When it
And the
exploded.
machines.
And the machines.
And I think it was like 72 different heads or something I had
That's
to do.
it, yeah.
Yeah, like we had 8 different face types or something. I don't know, and
A lot.
a lot.
Yeah, the permutation combination explosion.
Yeah.
Shells. You don't have shells at your story? Oh. Okay, so now we explain sort of you need this.
You have to choose the right one here.
This is that message is very long. This is the most complicated part, I think,
I think
and the
this is-
market.
I think this planning mode, this is version 527.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of with planning mode.
Yeah, you guys saw we had planning mode in 3D, planning mode without QL, planning mode now actually sort of explains what machine you need to use and everything. But it came out through iteration and testing out, right?
We had planning mode and you couldn't link machines until they were built, like you can do now. It was
Now you can double click the saw and you select all saw operations. Oh, there's so many little things you can do once you get.
I have a little bit of a bottleneck here with this guy. And I think it's cool like how... No!
Why? Oh yeah, because you don't have.
Whoa!
Oh,
Like,
I almost forgot.
I mean, like a break room and coffee, that's the most important part of a workplace. If you don't have that, then how is anything gonna get done?
And we have a message about sustainability for workforce.
Yes!
Never mind that they never go home.
No.
work through the night and stuff. Yeah, and it collapsed in front of the car as well. That's
No, the trip. That is
the trip.
warm
So
memories.
yeah, so many gray hairs from bugs resulting from that.
From the trip.
How much did we have that the trip cost? It's such a cool thing, so we always fix the bugs. But
So yeah, exactly. It's unpredictable. Like they can be in the middle of something, and we have to handle like if they don't do the thing they're actually supposed to do, what happens then? But also, if we could have seen it in like super slow motion or something, I had so much fun implementing exactly how the products acted when they fly through the air. They're like spinning, and then they land perfectly, smack.
Oh yeah.
Right where they need to be.
I like this little break room icon on the boxes too. I remember making these plates as well, like we had to show that they take the space that they do, so I had like
I like that we didn't let the car drive away until he
Until
was collapsed on the driveway.
Oh,
Oh, we
It's
don't
just
drive over
courteous.
underneath, that's
Yeah.
I think that's because they can go into the truck, right? So we had to make sure there's no workers in the
Yeah,
truck when it drives.
yeah.
A cool thing is that there's if you hang out here, there's like music playing
Mm.
from this
Oh, yeah.
radio. It's called Break Room.
If you zoom in, right?
Yeah.
And if you zoom out, it's
It's-
the normal music.
Exactly. This
So-
one is for outside use.
Yeah.
I wonder what I was thinking.
So when we
We
go
had-
to the open market thing, what is the sort of established meta to go for? What's the first product? I'd like to say rubber ducks, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Oh, we
plastic.
can't
Roblox
even-
is
Plastic
great,
and rubber
but I
ducks.
need to wrap up the tutorial first. But I think I'm done after this.
So the-
A late addition to the game that I really enjoy is sort of these things we're gonna add later, like decorations for sort of making the workplace nicer, like plants and such. Because an issue we had was that decorations are fun, but how do we make them into gameplay?
Mm.
And this was a way to sort of make like plants have a purpose within the game, not only used as decorations, but also they like lessen the strain on.
And that design is like us deciding let's just do the very simplest thing we can think of, because we'll want decorations in the game.
Vortex, what are you saying? You didn't get the Evil DLC yet. Oh man. In that case, you're in for a treat during Halloween. It is quite ambitious.
It is pretty much Little Big Workshop hard mode. With a twist, so it is quite special.
Sorry, I think it's so cute. But yeah, for sure, it really does change up the gameplay quite a lot.
Those image sequences. I remember that I built a system for like playing image sequences for like small effects in UIs, and we ended up doing full motion video.
It's and for the Evil DLC we have
Performance.
Yeah,
those
it's
even bigger. So yeah, that was sort of game dev is fun, isn't it? Like I was kind of excited at going from advertising to game dev because you don't have to render anymore.
Yeah, at the same and yeah,
Because we did a lot of rendering for those
Yeah.
videos. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
and
you.
all the yeah.
Doghouse for Ellis. What were you saying, you were?
No, I thought about the same thing. Just like I was also into like advertisement and animation and stuff, and did a lot of render, and I was extremely happy not to do it when I was game developer, and then we decided to do this. Rediscovered how painful it is to render sequences.
Yeah, man, rendering is it's its own thing, isn't it?
But we don't do any renders like that in Space for Sale, right?
No,
No, I don't think we do.
No.
We use the photo tool,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. I do not miss it at all.
no.
Also all the cinematics are in game in that one. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
cameras on.
We
Yeah,
had
that
a
was fun.
we had a photo tool here too for the products and stuff. If I remember right.
Yeah, it makes it made icons.
Yeah,
So all these icons are built with a tool, not handmade.
yeah.
Like
I think
that-
there was semi handmade because you had to like
Position the camera and stuff.
yeah.
But if you're gonna do, we have icons for all the possible combinations of every
yeah.
product, and they do the icons on the fly because there are so many combinations.
Yeah, so yeah.
That you run out of memory if you do them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually all the pictures in planning mode aren't sort of viewport stuff or 3D modes. They're all rendered pictures, and we've rendered all the permutations of every single option. So there's hundreds of tiny pictures of all the products
Yeah.
with each material combo. So yeah, quite many, but it's all automated with some tech wizardry. So that was, a practical solution for it.
Oh, this one I kind of
Very
like.
Yeah.
Deliver. Okay, this is one of those animations you mentioned.
Yeah. Like
After Effects.
8 frames.
Yeah, exactly. And then I wanted 30 frames. And then I wanted 60.
I mean, if you hop back to the market window, it's something fun about that whole UI is something we didn't have throughout 2/3 of the game. because the game was based on having scenarios on like levels almost. So the whole idea of the game was to build multiple factories after each other. So you would repeat the whole startup process and get one stuff and so on. So that was interesting to go from, you know, having many small stuff you would be done by to, okay, let's have one factory for each player which you can work on in theory forever, but then we'll need something that changes over time, so we need like a dynamic market system. So let's come up with that in 2 weeks.
The workstation is
the
about
game.
to blow there.
Oh,
I wanna see
Yeah,
them
don't
I wanna
repair it.
see this.
yeah, maybe it's part of the
Didn't we have
story.
like assurance that you would always see the first explosion? Like we
Yeah.
forced them to normal speed?
Because I put so much effort into the VFX.
It's more fire.
Why is it called Barbara though? Okay, let's not.
No idea.
Not well.
But I do like this one. It's called Double O Quack. I made like a Mallard, but I think Simon thought I gave him a tuxedo. So that's why this is James Bond duck.
Yeah. And these are the classical things that makes no sense when you translate them.
Oh, for
It's just
sure.
a poor translation thing like what is this?
We used a lot of like puns and stuff, which like we got some like from I assume most translators are really good. They take the job really seriously, but some puns just doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
I loved watching streams early on as well with like people were asking what the hell is a Dala horse? Or like specifically Swedish thing because we want to inject a lot of Swedish into the game, right?
Yeah, we have like Kubspel,
Oh, yes.
and I don't know if that's something that's not a product we have in the game, right?
We had it at some point, but I'm not sure if it's still there.
No.
It was kind of a redundant product. It's just
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
it's like
it was like the Garden Gnomes, but
Yeah.
Take a
different
stick,
model.
cut it. Hey!
Great
That was
success.
pretty much the product.
Did you complete the tutorial now?
I have.
Yeah, I graduated.
Oh yes. I like those UI elements like.
That's pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
I tried to figure out what sort of signature would Crazy Steve have.
Yeah.
So of course, Crazy Steve would sign with a happy face.
Yeah, happy face. Yeah.
But I don't have good handwriting, so I had to do a lot of
I'm surprised Crazy Steve's science that it doesn't just do like a hand stamp.
exactly or like a cross. Yeah, I thought that could be kind of fun
Smack his
lore-wise.
face into the billboard.
He is sort of a businessman after all. Okay, so this is kind of neat. Now we got to.
Oh, the billboards! I love
Yes.
the billboards.
Okay, so in this show of hands, which one do we do? Billboards or
Billboards.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna scale anything, you need billboards.
Sam was really upset that I don't use billboards during DC on last stream.
I remember having like the release stream or something. We were supposed to play for an hour. It's like I
Exactly.
don't actually use the billboards. Like
What are you saying? Like genuinely upset. I was
we
afraid for
spend so
my.
much time on these. What I love about some people who make really big factories and they're good at making the layout itself and don't really do cells. I've noticed some people actually do billboard rooms. So they put
Yeah.
all the billboards in one hallway. And then when they're in the planning mode, they just go to that one. And they've all got everything lined up already.
Oh, the gaming.
Which is impressive, but also it didn't work out quite as I intended.
I was kind of like the color combos of these.
Yeah, I like
this is
the
kind of-
plastic products too.
Assign it. Do the billboard instead.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, show me how the billboard.
Yeah.
Word.
So link the billboard to the plastic thingy. There you go. Now you link it to the. In planning mode, you link to the billboard, and now you can just buy
So
more
I'm just gonna
plastic.
Add another plastic.
Yeah. So you get two. There you
Boom.
go.
Now we're playing with power.
And even better, you could link both of them at once. Hey, equal life features.
Exactly. So now you can scale. Now you can get 10
Should I
plastic.
billboard the assembly as well?
Yes.
You want more than one.
Billboard everything.
That little mat was also one of those. We need to show why it takes so much space, but what's in front of it? Ah, let's add a little. So you're cozy on your feet when you
And that's
look
what-
at the bill.
That's because you don't want to build in the worker, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need some place to stand when they're assembling
Yeah.
it. that has to be built into the. Yeah. That's why that. Yeah.
I would assume I always try to write little Easter eggs on these kind of things. I wonder what it is. Oh yeah, speaking of Easter eggs, do we have the? Oh yes.
The secret house.
Okay, so people were kind of upset about this, but whoa! Spoilers! Oh my god!
There he is.
And it disappears.
He disappeared. Oh
I
wow.
talked to my dad about being like the
Found him directly.
the joking avatar of the game,
Mm.
and he was fine with it, except for why did you call me lazy?
No, it's your evil twin. That's the.
This is Lazy Pete. Is that what you know me as? Is that my
This
avatar?
is
Link
like
the
Pete, but lazy.
billboard
Ah,
for
right,
the
lazy.
assembly table.
Naturally, naturally.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah, you. Yeah.
link these guys first. I think you can press shift to link, right?
Probably.
This is such a good game, you guys.
I'm sitting here
Go.
thinking about like the camera options. I have the weirdest references when looking at this game. I think if we go into gameplay settings, there'll be a couple options. If you want it locked to the 45-degree angles like we're doing now, or if you want it to be free standard camera rotations.
Oh, that's what this means.
And we couldn't just change how it worked when we released the game, so I added the classic mode. Just in case there was someone out there, an aficionado of how the camera worked when we released the game the first time. So,
What? Okay, so this is free.
I think
Yeah.
it's a
Oh!
side rotation.
it's the side
Yeah.
rotation. So if you
So
use
not
the scroll,
zooming.
maybe,
Okay. Yeah, it looks.
I insisted on not actually allowing people to line it up along the walls because the game looks so bad. I mean, so I forced 90-degree perspective for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, I mean, that is an option for people. who
So the
play.
mic up is a little loud compared. Yes, of course. Hey, Krundug! Good to see you. Oh, delivery boom.
and does anyone have anything to say about the trash container? What happened there?
Yeah, let's see if we can activate it. But what do you mean? It's just a normal looking dumpster.
Yeah.
Nothing strange going on there at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
I like the effect on the plastic injection machine.
Yeah, it's so fun. They used to breathe it in.
This pink cloud.
Okay, guys, this is the first asset I made for the game.
Yeah.
My first week I worked here.
It's the most powerful.
And
7 years ago.
before this, we had agreed on like, yeah, the machines don't have like their own animation,
Oh, yeah.
and the workers have their own animation. They will never get together and do something together.
So you mean our antagonistic relationship started the first week?
Yeah, this jumping up and holding, getting that to work.
Oh man, sorry about that.
It looks really good now,
Yeah.
so I'm glad we did it.
Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
There's also one thing that's a bit shameful since we insisted on teaching everyone about it so much in the early tutorials and online material, and that's we have no shelves.
Oh, and no
We have no
haulers.
shelves at all.
Let's build some shelves then.
Yeah, the
And
shelves
give
are nice.
Joel some PTSD as well.
the big shelves. Yeah.
Always the large.
Fit in shelf.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, percentage-wise, they're much better, right?
I think so, yeah. Because of
The
the
shelves
empty
have
space in
stats, I
front
love
of
it,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, also, can we look at what's the obstruction thing? I love that system.
Obstruction thing? Oh, is
Uh,
it the here?
Yeah, it's one of the snail.
Yes.
So now that we move the products into the shelf, you will have less obstruction.
Oh,
Yeah, so they can
nice.
walk faster.
I'm
Yeah.
teaching you guys the game now.
Thank you, man. I never understood.
That's why you need the shelves. So
I
they
made
can
all.
move quicker.
I made all these icons.
Yeah.
So
Now we have a real icon designer, but back then.
So the workers move slower in the red areas where it's obstructed. Near walls and.
Damn it,
and
cactus!
machinery.
I trusted you. Why are you all shit?
Well, that's why you put it against the wall and not in the middle of the room, because then you're slowing down.
Oh yeah, I was just about to place the carnivorous plant in the middle of the room, so that's why I don't do that. What are you doing, man? Oh, it broke.
No, he's
Oh yeah, it's a
swapping
mold.
molds.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
an
here's a
extra.
pro
Keep
tip to
forgetting.
anyone playing. There is a full system where you can move around stuff in between workstations. You can move tasks up and down between workstations. And the best thing is, if you never touch that feature, you won't break it. but if you start fiddling with this list, that's where you can lock your factory. So if you don't have to, don't. just a tip. Because we really tried to make the system sort of foolproof, and that was both a good and bad thing in the end, where it kind of locked down what the player could do, but also made it very safe to send out really big product and see how the whole factory came alive. So as long as you didn't fiddle too much with it after you sent it out, you could do cool stuff.
Yeah.
Built a video game.
Space Wizards!
Space Wizards.
So cool. That's not a GameCube at all. I added a
New
bunch of like
buckets like that.
logos to these guys as well, but you can't get close enough to see it.
Yeah, we had some really fun product names for those, right?
Yeah, like try to come up with like brandings and such is always a good time.
So,
I think
Well,
the
we have-
company names as well. There's all a whole lineup of bad puns and references.
Yep, this one.
Yeah.
Here we have the Forbes ranking, which is not Forbes at
No.
all. Forbes.
It's
And
just some guy.
This was just one day where someone was like, "Can you just come up with names and logos of 20 or so companies?" They're not all good, but some are kind of neat. I like this one.
ABC.
But the best one is this.
Yeah.
Parasol
Yeah, Parasol is
Parasol
nice.
a good one.
And I think we
Oh,
have
yeah.
we have like the dog
Yeah, dog is in Space
in
for
Space
Sale
for
as well.
Sale too.
These two. Nice.
One of the machines.
Schnitzel and Sound, that's just a good name.
Right? Doesn't make any sense. This is a local reference, sort of a.
Catch that
Ah,
one,
yeah.
I'm impressed, yeah.
Yeah.
Sharp Isle Industries. Yeah. It's got to do with, let's just say, steel and stuff.
I wonder if Sanguine Logistics is sort of a offshoot of Nemesis.
Yeah.
This is a vampire. This was from my dad. That's why like, it was a lot of years we made this game, right? A lot of those sort of like stories has come up, right? So it's so cool that you guys are on here and trying that kind of stuff. But let's see if we can get some product rolling.
They dropped it again.
Yes.
Oh, are you gonna? Yeah, that's
Boom. That's my
maybe one of my favorites.
Exactly. It's powerful.
I love to like.
But it's too cramped in here.
Are you rich enough to try the building system? Because I really like those things.
I haven't unlocked. Oh, have I? I don't think I've unlocked the building.
No.
that,
check
was,
the-
that was definitely an FIQ. I can't build houses or build rooms. Like, you have to unlock it.
I needed 2 points. No. That was way more important than. But at least this one's green now.
Is there
Yeah.
some? Wasn't there like a competition of people who just
Yes.
didn't expand their factories and tried to?
I think they're in chat, to be honest. I think I saw
Yeah.
Kunde earlier.
Kunde was the master.
Yeah, the whole the I'm not sure where it came from, but we had really fun Discord people just doing silly and fun challenges. So we had, I think the one I reacted to was complete entire game without expanding the plots. so they had so that was a challenge, but that was
Chat.
manageable. But the one place they struggled with was when they had you have to increase the sort of value of your factory. That includes machinery. And I mean, if you build a big factory, you place lots of machines everywhere, and they together you reach a high value. But you couldn't actually squeeze that much into this one plot, so it was hard. But then someone figured out that all these outdoor decorations are quite pricey. So if you just build a lot of those everywhere, it will increase the value of the factory. You just line them up in the corner, just smack them in there. It's like, yeah, that's not quite what we intended, but I like the creativity. Just work around the issue.
That's good chutzpah.
Yeah, there was some other silly sort of playthroughs and just, how many cars can I make in one delivery? Someone reached 100 something. Like, I think the computer melted as they did it, but yeah, like maybe 1 FPS, but they actually could do it.
Is it a back scratcher? I see.
Oh, I saw the back sketcher earlier when I was browsing through products. I don't remember it making it to the game, but it did.
Yeah.
Girl, do you have any comments on why we have these particular products, this combination? Why this assortment of stuff?
I can't.
Why,
I
Gran?
can't
Why?
remember. I mean, I guess we figured out steel, wood, and metal pretty early.
We began with the methods and then we asked,
Yeah.
this is a natural market.
Yeah.
Back scratchers
And-
and toys.
I kind of like how I can't remember how everything, like the stats work on everything, but I remember specifically when we got to the robots things. We the stats there are called like I think robotitude is a real actual stat in the game.
Yeah.
So we kind of came up on what is actually reasonable and just like it's just this one is roboter than the other.
Ah, here we go. I want to see this in normal speed. These are my favorite dudes. Yeah, did we
That's-
show any of the construction in the early prototypes?
That's my dad.
Yeah, we did.
Did we build something?
Yeah.
we did.
Okay, because we had, I just love how these guys, at least they have some sort of system going on. Because in the first versions they have random
Randomly.
tile nearby, build one. Here at least they have a direction going on.
Hey, I love this. This
Yeah.
guy got a star. That's I got to. Oh, that's awesome.
Fire.
We need to.
I think
Ambitions? No.
Not in my factory.
You want to race? What?
this
You
is-
don't have to expand, but it helps. No, exactly. Like some real shads were able to complete the game without expanding.
I think there's a feature that I forgot we even made, but you can, if you go into the worker menu again, you can get the camera to follow a specific worker
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a tiny. Oh,
It's
she's
so
too
neat.
sad.
I love that we did this.
Yeah, it's
Just
kinda
like
fun.
sometimes you just want to watch the factory. You don't want to really.
Screensaver mode.
We should bring this into Space for Sale with like the names and sort of
Mhm.
camera stuff for the clients.
And then, when you do this though, you can see how incredibly inefficient one individual person is.
You're
So
not
you went over
Oh.
there, you grabbed something, you walked half across the factory, dropped it, and then had a coffee.
See, but you have
Hey!
you have
Single
never
event.
walked out in the office and see how we work.
Ah, okay. It's the same here.
It's the same, yeah.
Busted.
I'll top.
Is suing worth it? Savage.
Note to self, it's all screen recording software.
Is suing worth it? Because I saw there were hats.
The
Thank you,
gaming
Manu.
console is
Oh, I remember you, man, from back in the day. It's so happy that you showed up.
Do we have any good?
The chat is on. The chat is a little bit blocked by our
We
microphone.
have a
So we're
microphone.
gonna squeeze our eyes to see the chats?
Exactly.
Squeeze.
But
Squint
But
is
Krunov
the word I'm
made
looking for.
the,
Squeeze my eyes.
Krunov said you don't have to expand, but it helps.
Yeah.
And Manuln said, "Hi, this is such a nice game. I played it several times."
Ah, Manu,
Oh, nice.
yeah. Guten Tag, Manu.
Oh, I like the hats too. Yeah, I remember them now.
I wonder how many people actually know what the batch button does. I remember. 'cause
Yeah,
that's been in the
It's
game
an
forever.
important feature
And we-
that does amazing things, and
It's-
no one got it.
I know what
It
it
Yeah.
caused a lot of issues too, if I right.
As long as you don't fiddle with the stacks, it usually works.
Yeah, press
But again,
badge.
Don't fiddle
Badge
with
is
it.
On one,
No, but do 10 and do badge.
I have 3K.
Is it that can't remember what it does. It doesn't it make the whole product or
It
Explain this quickly now.
It's your baby.
It's a super nice feature.
Instead of like it does batches of 5 products
Yeah.
at a time, so that if because you could end up in situations if you queue 100 products and just press play, execute, then they might do 90% of the work but have 0 finished products because they didn't do the last.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all doing the handles before they do the other bits, so they're just standing around doing handles all day, and you really want to cash on the products before all of them.
Yeah.
So you can sort of force the queue to come in segments.
Yeah. So if you do the batching, you'll normally, if you've done 90% of the work, you'll probably have somewhere around 90% of
yeah, to
the
sell.
products to sell in case you don't finish the whole thing.
I mean, but speaking of batching and hard, I've been told the game is brutal, apparently, for new players.
Whoops.
Which is ironic since we thought this game would be kind of like hopefully an intro game to the genre where people would hop in sort of, hey, it looks cute, and then later on realize, oh, it's actually interesting. It's not just cute guys, it's actually a nice puzzle. But then, yeah, apparently we're super hard and everyone goes bankrupt.
Just don't order the catapult.
Don't do the, what was it, lyric on release week. Like, oh, catapults, I'll make 40.
Yeah, the hats
That
were
went well.
also the hats took up a lot of space.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
big hats because they have big heads.
All right.
Hey,
But the mopeds are really small. And you
Because their
they
legs
have
are
small
short.
feet.
They have very small
Short.
body.
Okay, so we made a batch, right? So that's why we got 5,
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
5, 5, 5.
it's not noticeable if like every step has its own machine, but if like all of them are done on the same workstation, it's really noticeable because you'll never end up with a cool product until the very end.
It
Yeah.
actually also, I think it might help, like to actually, if you, a process involves like 10 machines, to actually get all 10 machines going at the same time.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have 10 workers.
It's just
If you have 20 workers and 10 of them are in the break room.
yeah, it's just one guy working at a time, which is less than ideal.
Okay, let's go. Let's see. What about quests, you guys?
Do you have any
The
challenge? You have a
events,
challenge.
yeah.
there. You have a challenge.
Oh, that's how it goes. They don't call. No, okay, yes, Crazy
Yeah,
Steve.
he
Yeah,
wants-
to build
and,
reputation.
And you have already like a blueprint for that.
Yeah, man.
So you can just do
Just
that.
Boom.
Do it.
That was,
Didn't we
that was
make,
him.
or is that, I remember they had unique products for
Look at
the clients
that.
came with special challenges. Were they unique products as well, or were they just give me one of the things you do anyway?
I love the hats.
I'm sorry, what were we saying?
The client's assignments, like the special products, were they unique products as well? I think they were, right?
There were some unique products, especially during the Evil DLC. We made some insane products, like
Yeah, well, the
a
Evil
cat
DLC has lots
machine.
of weird, unique
Mm.
spy cats and so on.
But I
in
think
this
we have
one-
unique products. But this, like, now he asked me for Sandbox Kit, and that's not unique, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And but I think the Garden Gnome is unique to him, and we have a few of
Yeah.
those for every client.
Oh, okay, yeah. Of course, we have again looking at the market. We have furniture, a rake,
Jeez.
dolls, and a scarecrow. This is just the average
Average
product
product.
market if you're in
That's
the
kind of
industry.
yeah, and the game console.
And the
Yeah.
game console, yeah.
And the
Same
game
thing.
console is a basic.
You hear that, Nintendo? It's not that hard.
Also, like
Yeah.
the symbology here. Of,
Yeah, we had different
plastic,
like
and then
gamepads and
bits.
stuff.
No, we missed the
There's a
mark.
pile
We don't
here
have-
of internal bits.
Yeah. But yeah, you buy a lot of the
Micro
components.
components and then robot.
Oh,
motorboard.
it has robotitude.
Yeah.
Whoa, so our game console has robotitude?
Right. This UI and this planning mode. If we ever made a sequel, like a follow up, which who knows?
Ah, no, billboard.
One of those
Oh,
things I would
right,
love
right,
to
right,
explore is if we could do actually have this mode or something like this be more you actually design stuff. That would be really cool. But it's also
So you can get a new.
also just a big challenge.
Yeah,
So-
assembly
so,
table.
add it
so
But
difficult
just
to,
add
to
Yeah.
design a system that
I'm thinking of
allows
tearing
it.
down. Tear down this wall.
Just
but now
to
it
like.
devolves to like click the green thing if you play it for long enough.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I
you
like
actually-
just that you can choose different colors on like the
Yeah.
plastic stuff, and it's like more of those things. Like good.
When do I unlock
Bronze milestone. Factory level 5.
I'm almost there, man.
Hmm.
Okay, let's keep it on. I'm
You
sort
can
of
do
more
it.
into a plastic mindset anyway now. We're climbing in ranks. We're better than Mega Hard. Oh man. Do you guys know what the pun is?
It's subtle.
Exactly. It's
I like how
opposite
we
of
raced
Microsoft.
past them with 6, 7 employees.
And 20 buckets. Fuck you, Microsoft. Mega Hard, I mean.
Yeah.
But it's just Mega Hard just sound of kind of explicit almost.
Oh, that's the builders. Yeah, builders car.
Mm.
This game.
You got one.
One. Is she
Was it-
supposed to do this herself?
Yeah.
You know, during this economy, tearing down the wall. Let's see if I can see. Yeah,
I
kinda
admire how
that
they just
backwards.
keep working even though he's wrecking the wall right behind the machine.
Yeah.
Again, OSHA has opinions.
Oh man, our Crazy Steve, like account is running low.
Yeah, because you're doing the other sandbox kit.
I just prioritized Crazy Steve. I was just thinking, do we show off that feature? It's not really meant to be us showing off features. Like, I'm so excited.
Exactly.
I can, oh yes, I remember. I remember.
I remember.
We did this thing, so it automatically reorders the queues on all the stations.
How is it
Catapults are
like
great
with
once you can afford to make them, Krondo. Yeah, sure. But they are great, but they take a lot of space, and that's usually where players get stuck, right? They're so big.
Also afford them as in probably have proper woodworking machines, don't
Can
do
we
it by hand.
Can we just appreciate how
Oh,
she that sort of built herself out? She built the wall, so she was stuck outside and had to go all the way around
Yeah.
Yeah.
fringe up the floor.
Is that why? Can you build like the last tile up to the fence? That you can't, right?
I don't think so. Otherwise, I would have done it. Yeah.
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 This
Uh,
reminds me of the bug report that made Victor laugh out loud because I'm not fixing this. And that was, a genuine issue occurred because someone, it sounds sort of severe and bad when you look at it until you check the save, and someone there's no way to place these items or something. Was
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then we found out that someone had ordered so many things so many times, and the truck driver was so pissed about never getting it dropped off that they managed to fill the entire factory floor, all the open spaces with products. And as they were trying to throw the last one, there was no possible cell anywhere. The game just said nope. So they managed to fill every cell in this style.
We had a couple of like weird, but we had one guy. He built a hedge around the whole edge of the screen, and that made all the characters couldn't find a path to the edge, so they thought they were stuck. So all the workers simultaneously sat down on the ground and cried because they do that when they get stuck.
Yeah,
It
Get
happens.
nice here.
yeah, you could more naturally
You
accidentally kill
get
them
them
in
on
the
it.
room or something. So we actually had that feature, but the entire factory at once is not as likely.
Hey, I'm
You
having
can
financial
remove
troubles.
doors and stuff, right?
No, I think we did have like you can't remove the last door at least. So there needs
But
to
you
be
can-
some way out.
You can run a deficit of 5,000, or what is it?
Is it like
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Yeah, you're
So
fine.
I sort of live on the edge.
Yeah.
Like our
Like in real
cozy
life.
factory game is kind of intense
Yeah,
actually.
I've been told
We
it's
need to
good
wrap up this production, you guys! Get the cell!
And then you zoom in on them, and they are the most casual walking dudes ever. No one is in a rush anywhere.
No.
We should have a dungeon keeper like slap mechanic.
We didn't consider it, but
Yeah.
sort of ruined the mood. We thought
Yeah, it's not very cozy.
we
Is
did
it?
add one for the Evil DC though, sort of. You could throw down a motivational speaker.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh, that
We
was
did it.
cool.
That was our avatar.
I remember we talked about maybe having some kind of what do you call it? What do you call it when administrator
Admin,
or something?
Yeah,
Admin.
paper flipper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every building should generate paperwork.
Yeah.
So you had like a dude somewhere who just took care of the paperwork.
Copies papers
Yeah.
and
I
carries
think
around.
I think we even drew an animation where it's like shuffling the paper from one end of the desk to the other one slowly.
Yeah.
And we also revert animation to the other outside.
Like that
That'll
guy
be
stuck
kind of
around
cool, I think.
for so long. Like we really wanted the admin, but came to realization that admin doesn't do it.
In the game. In the
But
game.
it could,
The game,
you could
of
just
course.
like
I just want to defend my job in this room.
what he said, like just have a paper in his hand and go around. Like that's
Exactly.
work enough.
Yeah. Hovering. Yeah.
Looks nice.
I'll describe it, and we have a good.
You link that to
works.
the billboard, yeah.
Of course. I'm a pro gamer.
Oh, you knew.
Oh, it bit.
It has
So
a,
this guy we gave in our new game, The Space for Sale, we gave this guy a little bit of a tribute in our latest update. So go check that out.
I like how that's the sort of. Well, I need a cactus, I need a coffee station,
Yeah, and a
big
flesh
fire and a
eating.
flesh eating cat. Of course you do. Don't we have like
The
diesel?
workers love that flesh-eating plant.
Yeah, it's so cozy, isn't
Didn't
it?
we have like a diesel-driven fan as well?
Yeah, we have a decent driven fan.
Yeah, I love that one. It's like a fan, but it also puffs out smoke, and I was like,
Just build one, or can we look at it without
I
spending
think
the
it's
money?
advanced, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's advanced, naturally, yes.
Oh, of course.
Like we haven't unlocked fans yet.
Modern luxuries in this 80s inspired factory.
The air quality must be so amazing having one of those.
Yeah.
But like the, what do you call it? The system when you have like decorations and stuff.
Yeah, you have the next to the snail. You have the heart symbol, right?
Heart symbol house.
Yeah,
That's
that shows you how they.
Yeah, right.
So the yellow there, that means that they
Ah, the
work.
mood.
They work slower. No, they drain more energy.
yeah,
so, in these rooms.
You need carnivorous
you
plants.
need
Yeah.
green.
Do you remember how we reached, because this is definitely you and me, do you remember how we reached the conclusion? The best icon for this is yin and yang.
No, I saw that.
In hindsight, what?
Yeah.
I'm sure I might have been the one who thought this is great. But I
It may
don't
have been
remember.
me too. I made all the icons after all. I can't afford a plant. Sorry, guys.
You have to sell some game consoles first.
Like, ship those consoles, god damn it. This is like at Nintendo.
Feel free to send pro tips in chat, by the way. We might need it.
Yeah. Okay, I am doing a little bit in jest, but I haven't played the game for years, so tips is appreciated.
Can we look at? Can you press Shift? Is that the one to get like the info and all the? Just hold Shift on the keyboard.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
think
there's
that's
a lot of
noise.
machines sleeping.
It's important stats that we definitely want to have.
I think you're gonna make a lot of money selling the game consoles, and they are wrapping up now.
Yeah.
What's the problem with the hats? Why are they snooze? Oh, I just don't have enough operators. Is that case?
Yeah, could be.
I need
think
to
you
use
can-
shells
oh.
more.
If you
You prioritize stations
hover
as well.
the hat, you can highlight the stations it's gonna be made on, right? Oh, you probably know which ones it's gonna be made on.
Yeah, I had this
You can check the
like
queues and
sewing
stuff.
factory over here.
Yeah, but they are fully at work with the game consoles.
Pivot from game consoles to hats.
Oh, we really need to sell the game console before we lose the game.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Oh.
really close now.
This reminds me
No
of
pressure,
the,
my guy, but it's on you now.
I can't just sell pots.
No, don't trip.
Did he trip?
Oh no, the game console!
It's fine, ship it.
I remember we had to add because you hire employees and they cost salary on a time basis. So after like a week or something, we check off the salaries. Or once in a while, we actually charge for it. I remember having to add a hiring fee because people were firing and kicking people.
Yeah, right
Because
before.
it was like a min-max thing where I was going to temporarily hire 10 dudes and then fire them.
Just like in real life.
Yes. So again,
Too real.
sending the good vibes by not having too many slaves in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forget the challenges.
Yeah, but complete these things first.
Oh.
Hey. Switch out.
You can do it, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Gran shelf.
Ah,
Subtle.
wonder where that came from.
It was not me that named it. I just want to say that.
I think that was Jukka, probably. I don't
Probably,
know.
yeah.
And I think shelves is a good like
IKEA
business
product.
opportunity. Like very easy
You
to
don't-
make, but you
Mm.
can make good money.
Could be.
Yeah, shells are good. It's just I want them to be wood. I think.
Do the top one.
Here?
Yeah, instead of that one. Do the bottom one. That one, yeah. It has less hassle in that.
I mean, is this like a comment that IKEA wants the cheapest possible materials?
Cardboard.
You as a factory owner want the cheapest one.
Yeah, sure. Oh man, that's a little bit of a bottleneck there. But I just unlocked advanced woodworking. So if we can wrap up these sandbox kits. Some machinery.
Which definitely would earn you enough to buy a new woodworking machine. In real life.
Exactly. Do I put the woodworking machine in the sewing room? That's pretty terrible, but it fits there.
I remember having a conversation when we were doing research in factories. We were at one place where yeah, we have a new machine here, and it's been running since like 2 months or something. Yeah, and I mean, what's the investment, and when do you think it'll pay off? And said, yeah, well, if we can keep it running fairly stable, it'll pay off in about 15 years.
Oh,
Cool.
that's a
God,
cheap
I
You're
know.
working on different scales than I do.
I never planned ahead more than 2 weeks in my entire life.
I'll eat this bag of chips tomorrow. It's planning ahead.
Adult boys, right?
Exactly. I know I'm gonna need milk for the breakfast this weekend.
But yeah, just trying to remember, didn't we have like a system where you wanted to avoid having 2 big rooms?
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You get a mood debuff, right?
Yeah,
If
it's
you
really
if the
large
room
or
is
something.
too big. Because that was also like from playtesting, people just built one big hall over the whole screen.
Yeah.
And it was so it didn't look nice to look at all.
But there is no minimum for the restroom, right?
no.
Yeah, because I made very small restrooms.
Yeah, and it's technically better to make like 2 small, two of them, but they are small instead of 1 large.
Yeah.
I should maybe go fetch some of the community screenshots I collected, because once people really started gaming this out, it looked really weird. Because the break rooms in one situation was just a long hallway.
Yeah.
That was the most efficient way of doing it. And never give them seats, because it'll take more time. for
Yeah, the
them to
animation
take
is
a
slow.
break. Yeah. Have short breaks. Don't sit down. It'll take too much
Oh
time.
yeah,
to
they
animate.
jump off the
We
seat.
spent so much time making them sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite arduous, but I love this. Look at how they're like looking at each
Interacting,
other and
talking to each other.
communicating. Oh, I laugh! Oh! I don't know, that's like my favorite part of the entire game, break rooms.
We should make Fika Simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So next game was
like
with
the entire
Fika
game is just
Simulator.
break rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have the running theme of coffee in our games. Try to sneak it in wherever we can. So we can.
Okay, this is going well.
Look
Gonna-
how all the products fits in the shelves in a very good way.
Let's look at every
Oh,
step.
beautiful! Look at that, no clipping at all.
For those who aren't in on the joke, it's a recurring task for the art department to fix products
It was a pain.
so they will fit in shelves, or tag them correctly if they should or shouldn't be. So, hey, look.
What the?
What?
Oh,
Feather.
no!
No!
That does not fit in a shelf.
Unfit in.
Oh,
Don't
forgot the
look
feather.
Yeah.
That's a stupid product anyway.
And we had the tool scene with a kilometer.
Yeah, it literally was like a kilometer
Yeah,
of products. Like
we had a scene which took all the products we could make in the game and lined them up in one axis, and then the other axis was every permutation of that product, every part you could make it.
yeah,
And like think some of the robots in like length, it was like a kilometer long.
yeah, it
At
was
least.
insane. It was like
Was thousands of permutations.
Yeah.
You were sitting in there. Does
Yeah.
it look good in shelves?
Grundug is disappointed
And the
in
robots
my
was
factory.
like kind of it was most advanced I think product we made, because they had animations also.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of parts.
Yeah, there were. Oh, you can use your new saw,
Yes! Worth it!
but you don't have a smeltery.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
I
just
set
got
that
one.
up. I mean, in a very. What?
Execute.
No!
Don't have the money.
Yeah.
No,
For the
don't
materials.
have the money.
You have to wait a
Ooh.
little.
You need to
Sell the hats. Then
Sell
it's
the
gonna be
hats. Hats!
Are they gonna assemble those hats, or are they sewn together? I want
And you
to
don't
kinda
get the
zoom in
money
on
until the
They are
assembly.
all of them
the
is
truck
doing.
has left the table, right?
fine. Yeah. No, the depot.
So probably
I
should
think.
have been
So
assembled at the end.
right as it leaves the depot. Here.
Okay.
I just want to see an assembly being made. Maybe we can do the next
Yeah, good, look at
product.
this. Oh, that's fucking cool.
Oh, that's what I wanted to look at. Because I spent some time just to get them like tweening here, tweening there.
Yeah, I love that when they do a little pop. Same with when you assign something to when you link it to this, they make a little.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crunch, game juice.
Just the arrows.
That's what we call it
Like
in the-
just don't just appear. They.
Wah, Game feel. It's a real term. Look at
And you
that.
have in planning mode. You could, if you can drag. That's a feature I like. If you take a line in the middle and you can
Oh
drag.
Yeah.
man! Now we're playing with power. Oh!
And you can make like the most horrible plans ever.
It's still just one, but it goes around.
Okay, so this is the
Sorry.
plan.
You guys.
This is a
Just do
problem.
this.
Notice how you will doesn't wreck the
Boom. Let's go, Chris,
Okay,
Steve.
get it out.
You're a guy. So the quests actually added a lot. Like, sometimes they have special rewards sometimes, and that's just no. I'm thinking of the events. Late in the development, we added events.
Oh,
like
yeah.
rats and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember being saved so many times by the rewards you get from those.
Oh.
Like, oh yes, 1,000 credits.
You haven't gotten an event at all yet.
I haven't. Oh, am I playing serious business mode?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
So, well, there will be gnomes.
I think the
Get
it
back
will
to
happen,
work.
But I just want to mention, I think we had 3 or 4 patches after the game came out with that all had lower how like with time how many events occur and lower how often Vlad calls you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are so upset
Yeah.
that Blood called you and harassed.
So you had to like lower the frequency and then next patch, okay, lower it a little bit more, lower it a little bit more.
And then the save button came in.
Yeah, I think the nail in the coffin was that we had physically handicapped dude that wanted to play the game, and he couldn't do the mouse
There was
mini
some,
game, and that fucked him up.
yeah.
Oh man.
The rat
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
Like no, add serious business mode. You're not it's not an action game.
Yeah.
Accessibility is tricky like that because we obviously want to make games accessible, but like sometimes you're just not aware, right?
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
somebody tells you, like, if you're colorblind, it's kind of hard that this one becomes orange now, or rather something like that, right? So we are super open to such feedback because sometimes we just can't relate.
Yeah. Will you survive? Yeah, you're actually making money now, though.
Yeah, I'm
Not in the
professional,
red.
sir.
Yeah, you were in the red a lot, though.
But that's the professional line. You know how to work the.
You have to spend money to make money.
That's the number there. That's the theoretical, like calculated on your workers appear to be getting this much work done right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Giving useful stats on the workers was a challenge.
Yeah. So the numbers are very hypothetical.
There was a lot of efficiency and a happy number. I think that's good.
No, we have an issue. No, it's fine. It was just a short. I'm gonna go ahead and play with my toys. Nom, 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 nom.
Yes.
Oh, more
Oh,
chocolate.
like,
But you had Lazy Steve. We can continue his thing.
Oh,
Or is
yeah,
that a
okay.
is that still a super secret?
No, man.
This is
Somebody
the
posted a
place.
guide, like, really out.
Ah, okay.
So, okay.
He was,
I kind of like this.
I like that too. Like
There he is.
Ah.
Now we'll see.
Spoilers. He's playing Game Boy, or Pocket Game, I mean.
Some.
It's hard to get a good look at him, but whatever. So now
Strange fellow.
we wait, and this one was the most
Also do deliver, yeah. So we don't
tricky
die.
one.
So you have a TV, right?
Yeah, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit. But yeah, so this one people had a little bit of a hard time figure out, so we made like a Twitter account for Lazy Pete, where we added like secrets or hints to sort of what the what's going on.
And then there was some killer who made a Steam guide.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And
I mean,
I mean,
Expected, but still.
Lazy Pete has been sort of inactive on Twitter for 4 years.
He is lazy after all.
Yeah.
Yes!
We did it! Oh my god! Milestone completed. Look at all this yum stuff.
I think you have
And the
like
slipboards. Never invest in that. Oh,
You
this
can
is good.
you can have specialists now, right?
And the woodworking,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think the more money one is really good, right?
Yeah. This guy, right?
Market prediction is actually,
This is-
I think it's a really neat one if you min-max when you sell stuff. But you need a bit of margin to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that one. I think. Oh, we have more. Oh,
And you can
sorry.
get that one as well.
Whoa.
So that will make it easier.
Oh,
That's my favorite role. He's such a jerk.
Invisible to hardly noticeable.
Burn. Okay, so we reached a milestone. We got a nice factory going here, and we have been streaming for almost 2 hours. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking this might be a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Should raffle? Okay, let's just give them the keys. Thank you guys for watching and interacting with us. And I mean, 5 years since Little Big Workshop released. It's pretty cool, right?
yeah.
Yeah, time flies.
Deliria.
Is it Lyria online?
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh man, I'm so sorry. Should we keep it running for 10 more minutes? No, but thank you guys for sticking around all these years. The game has sort of been getting a life of its own, like on consoles and mobile and such, and that's really cool. Every time I see some mention pop up on Twitter or something like that, it just warms our heart that people are still playing it. And I know what I'm gonna do this evening.
Yeah.
Sharing this factory.
I was.
Yeah, we have a couple of beers here. We should just.
Yeah. play.
I have nowhere else to be. No, but do you guys want to say anything as a wrap up?
No, this was fun.
Yeah, it was. I have forgotten a lot of it. Like I want to play it again, and we have played it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But years ago, right?
Yeah,
So I also kind of forgotten the minutia, but it's really cozy.
yeah,
Currently, we're working on a game called Space for Sale, and it has a lot of like commonalities with this game. Not like surface level, but our thing is, if you're familiar with this game, it is like problem solving and tinkering, and that sort of thing is alive and well in Space for Sale as well. So if you guys are into that stuff, please check out Space for Sale. And guys, have anything to add?
Fun to be here.
Yeah, fun.
Happy to see the old game, and looking forward to see what comes in the future.
For sure. Take care, everyone.
take care.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Nice.
Nice.